All right, I'm James Gittens with the Office of Veteran Success, and today we have Laura Kalu here, and we're here for Veterans Day, and it is 1:09 p.m. 10/23/2020, and due to COVID, we are keeping safe distance, and we are doing a virtual chat in our own safe spaces. For this project, what we're doing, or for Veterans Day, excuse me, we're just trying to reach out to all veterans and really ascertain like how service has inspired them. Not service in regards to the military, that does tie into it because you did serve, otherwise it wouldn't pertain to you, but how services really pertain to you. So just start off with your name, your branch, campus you go to, if you're still currently in school. If you're not, that's fine. But what your major was, or if you do want to declare that, and then just go right into what motivates you to serve and join the service.
All right. Well, my name is Laura Kalu. I was in the Navy. I was a corpsman in the Navy for about 5 years. The campus that I am currently at, because I am still a current student, I will be graduating, I believe, fall 2021, is the Sarasota Manatee campus, because I live right here in Sarasota, and my major is psychology. And then you want me to go right on into what motivated me and all that?
Well, yeah, I mean, what motivated you, or is service, and it doesn't have to be necessarily. I mean, it is your story. If you got into the service, because you were low on funds. I know I was. I needed the money. It was 2008, and I was broke, and so was the rest of the world. And I got tired of working 3 jobs, trying to go to school. It was an exhausting period of my life, and I discovered, I would say, rediscovered service through going to the military, provided that structure where I could learn how to take the concept of service and really apply it in the military, and then evolved in school to where I could make it apply outside. So for you, I mean, how's that work out for you?
Well, first off, I joined the military because I I graduated high school, joined college for about 3 years, paid for it, racked up about $30,000 in student loans, and I was like, man, this is expensive. And my high school best friend was like, hey, I'm joining the Navy. You should do it with me. And I'm like, okay, cool. Why not? They're going to pay for my schooling. I can, get assistance while I'm in. I can get my GI Bill while I'm out. And why not travel? And then why not, because like I said, I was a corpsman. Why not learn the medical field while I'm in? Because obviously, that's what I wanted to do. So that's what really motivated me to join. Once I was in, what motivated me to kind of stay in was I fell in love with the medical field. I learned a whole bunch. As corpsmen, you kind of learn how to be nurses, but you don't receive the accreditation of nurses, but you do all the same stuff. You work side by side with doctors, physician assistants, nurse practitioners. You're in there doing minor procedures and doing things by yourself. When you're in the field, you're taking care of wounds and all of that. And I fell in love with taking care of people and saving lives. So that kind of ties into what you were saying about, learning what service is, not just like the military service, but service in general. And yeah, that's where I fell in love with service in general. So the military definitely helped me learn what service was. And then here I am, I'm learning my psychology degree. And then I actually plan to go into physician assistant school. And then move on with the medical field from there.
Nice. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're probably gonna be like myself here. We're a lifelong student, doctorate, and plenty
Oh,
of.
yes. Yep. It's never going to end.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Once I had to come to terms with that, the invisible tears that rolled down my face. But
Yeah.
but also the kind of the joy of understanding that there's always room for growth. I think that's amazing, and then being able to attach it to my identity, like as you said before, like your friend suggested that. Any part of your identity where you feel that it definitely plays a role into the psychology, or any form of why you do it with your identity, and then how that might tie into, how you contribute back to the community even. And if not, again, no need to force it, but it's, does it affect you anyway?
Well, I think it actually does. And moving from the military world and the medical field, and you help everyone comes in and they have an issue, you help everyone. You don't have to deal with worrying about if they have health insurance or anything like that. And then moving into the civilian sector, I definitely have learned a lot about myself and about how much I truly care for the medical field, and how much I truly care for my goal to help those who are less fortunate. So truly my goal is to become a physician assistant and open up a nonprofit, like family medicine clinic, because there are so many men and women and children out there that, are unable to receive healthcare because, they're just less fortunate, or they can't afford this outrageously expensive healthcare, or not healthcare, health insurance. So, and I think that definitely ties into it. It definitely helped create my identity, as far as, yeah, like you were saying.
Yeah,
Anyways.
yeah. No, you're right. That specified kind of. I'm cheating here. This is what I. This is my aspect of what I do. So yeah, all the terms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it narrows down exactly, almost who we are personally in our identity, and then also how that contributes to kind of the nationalism, right? Of just like
Yeah.
that integrity, those creeds. And is there like a specific story where you knew it was like, ah, man, this is an aha moment. Like I traveled here, or I was right here with, the PA so and so, and I just saw this, this individual, and I was just like, that's not right. That's not right. I'm going to do something about it.
Well, like I said, like I said before, we are trained to be somewhat nurses, and then you move into the civilian sector and you're not an actual nurse. So I got my medical assistant certification, and I worked as a medical assistant on and off for the past 3 years. And moving in and out of different clinics, you see how they work. And I worked in a small clinic that they based a lot of their work on, we have to find something wrong with everyone, even if they're just coming in for a medical, or not a medication, like prescription refill, just for insurance purposes, so that we can charge them the most. And to me, ethically, that just blows my mind. If they're coming in for a medication refill, why do I have to find something wrong with them just so that we can charge them the most? And that right there is what really sparked my drive to say, like, hey, at some point in my life, I want to make a change somewhere, or be a person to at least open something up where I can give someone or a family some sort of healthcare where they don't have to worry about that, where they have all of these high costs of healthcare. You know what I mean? And it's just, I think that's really what did it. Yeah, moving from working within the military, where you don't have to worry about any of that. They come in, they get treatment. You need a surgery, you're getting it. You don't have to worry about if you have good enough health insurance, or if you can make your copay. And then moving into the civilian sector, where it's like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't get this because you don't have this, or like I had said, where I don't know. There's a lot of grimy people out there.
No, that's great. I want all that. I want all that to come out, because all those things. I mean, I know whenever I, if I have to go feed the homeless, or if, I'm going to go see a Black community, or I'm going to go see, like today, the guy who had a sign that said he was a veteran, and he was on the side of the road, and he was asking for help. I took all the change I could find in the truck that I usually use for tolls, and I just gave him the whole bag. I
do that all the time. I do that all the time.
I can't. Somehow what I was working on last night, I didn't even care, that it was the whole bag, because he needed all of it. Because I know how polarized the system can be for a lot of us, especially starting off at the bottom, or unfortunate, you don't know the psychological damage or what he's gone through, and even on a consistent basis. So I was just like, a dollar's not going to help, but this is all I got. This is what I can do. And so that's
something.
I really
If there's enough people thinking like you and me, then hopefully he'll at least have $5 by the
exactly.
end of the day, you know? So, yeah.
Exactly. You know, you can afford that
Yeah.
drink at the gas station. You can afford to get that individual $5. So
Yep.
it's exactly how I see it. So with that, I mean, that was amazing. Is there anything in particular that like that you hold kind of dear to you that reminds you to kind of keep at it, staying? Especially, I know as a fellow student, there are days where I'm just like, you know what, I really would like an easier path right now because I just can't right now, and I need that one thing to kind of remind me that, you know, hey, you've done it before, you can keep this, you can keep doing it. Or is that like a self drive that like you inherently have over, you know, practice?
I just saw your dog and it completely distracted me.
Oh, I didn't even understand that. What was that?
um, okay, what was the question?
It's okay. So is there anything that in terms of you know, service, is that something where, um, oh my goodness, I went blank because he's distracting me. Lay down. But is there something in terms of that you have right now in terms of like, you know, like a memorabilia, or we call it archival data. It can be like a picture, or it could be what maybe choose your husband, you know, or your nieces, your nephews, sisters, brothers. Something that kind of you know, reminds you when you're, you know, kind of hitting the wall and you're at rock bottom with your studies, or, you know, just seeing what's going on in, you know, the medical and medical environment, where you're just like, you know what, yeah, I can get up now because I remembered this, you know.
Well, I mean, just having a family in general. We have a daughter. She's about a year and a half. So, and we're always just looking to strive to meet our goals. My husband's a park ranger and he wants to someday manage his own park. And just watching him constantly every day work towards his goal. And, you know, how could I sit here and not work towards my own goal? So, you know, school is very rough, especially with it being almost completely online now. You have to motivate yourself every day to sit down and do your work, and I have a hard time sitting here and not working towards my own goals when I see others doing the same thing. I would feel lazy.
Yeah,
And I have a, you know, I would love to create that sort of mindset for my daughter as she grows up, you know, that, you know, you got to work. Not a lot of people believe in this, but you really have to work for, you know, the things that you want in order to create the life that you truly need and want. So, yeah.
that's beautiful. And what was your husband and your daughter's name?
My husband's name is Mfume,
Mhm.
and my daughter's name is Naya.
Oh, it's beautiful. And so, with Infume and Naya, when did you walk me through when, you know, the whole romanticism? I'm very curious because that's a huge motivator for you, and
Yeah.
that narrative that inspires you. The story must be inspiring as well. So please.
Yeah. So, I was stationed in Yokosuka, Japan. That was my first duty station out of Corpsman A School in San Antonio. So I got stationed in Japan. I was there for about a year, and then I met my husband. He was working in pediatrics, and I was working in family medicine. And you know, the rest is history. No, we got married about 3 years ago. So we left Japan, and then we separated from the military, got married, and like I said, my daughter's about a year and a half now. So after we separated, we moved here to Florida and had my daughter, and yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm happy for you both. Do you have a picture of them, or anything on hand?
Oh man, I have a picture of my husband and I right here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Let's see here. It's
Can you
it's
see
fine.
it?
Yeah, yeah, I can
And
see it. Yeah,
I
go
could
ahead.
probably pull up a picture. I can send them to you.
Please,
I have
please,
a
yeah.
picture
Send
of all of us. Yeah.
yes, send me those the Thanksgiving the future cards that you I know you were planning to send out, but didn't get to.
Yeah. Right.
Send those to me or Amy.
Hmm.
Um, and even though we know the connection, the quality is always going to vary. Um, don't worry about that. It only reflects the situation that we're in right now in light of COVID and everything we're going through. And it's going to describe in history exactly what it was like. It wasn't always clean. It's not always perfect, but
Nope.
we still try to stay connected. You know what I'm saying? We still try to figure out ways that we can serve our community in different ways we can promote that, and that's really what I'm aspiring to do. And your identity, just uh, from my perspective, looking at what you're describing, um, going to the medical field, and not one person matters, not just um, people who are just mitigated, but everyone matters. It's just you want to bring those people who are mitigated up because it's just they can't afford that. And when you have that kind of approach, that holistic, that multicultural approach, um, then it really feels like you're really carrying those military attributes, for me at least, back
Oh,
over.
definitely. I think a lot of it was learned within the military as well, truly. And I grew up in New York, upstate New York. It's not much of a melting pot. So join the military, and that's like huge melting pot. So I think a lot of it was definitely learned through the military as well. Definitely.
Nice, nice. I'm jealous. You got to go to Japan. I'm so jealous.
The culture is amazing. We're gonna go back and visit probably next year. Yeah, we
Uh,
plan to.
my buddy just invited me to go next year, and I'm like, I don't
You
know.
should.
I need to go to
Yeah, I
Africa.
know, right?
I gotta do like a whole trip for that. Oh, y'all are killing me over
It
here.
would be worth it. It would definitely be worth it.
Well, you answered all my questions. I'm glad you got to see all these things. These experiences have influenced you to keep on serving, and um, it's inspiring for me because I pretty much want to work in the multicultural. I want to do so many things. I want to work in the multicultural aspect, and that's where the doctorate's going to be. I'm in my master's right now, and I really want to also be an entrepreneur. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me. So somehow I'm supposed to own a business, but be a teacher and educator and all that stuff. And it's just like, oh, you silly, silly boy. But we're going to do this. You're going to
We'll get
heal.
there.
We're both going to heal a lot of people, and
Yeah.
with the service connected to it. And I appreciate your time and everything. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording, and then boom.